Yeah, there's probably no real easy way to say this, boys, but today I'm formally announcing my retirement. I actually really wanted to wait until next week, but given the current climate, I wasn't sure that I'd get an opportunity to get so many people in the room. There was certainly no guarantee of that, so I took the opportunity given to me by Livo and by Dimmer to address you all. So thanks very much for encouraging me to do that. It's something that I wasn't really ready for, but it's been an incredible 12-year journey for me, an absolute joyride. And it really is a dream to stand up here and be completely content with what my career consists of and be really proud of that. My immediate family and my inner sanctum of friends have known that 2021 was going to be my last as I embarked on it. And others who I've notified more recently, they've seemed somewhat surprised or thought that potentially it was premature. And for that, I'm quite humbled. That makes me feel like I really sprinted to the finish line and have been really contributing, and I'm really proud of that. I'm also really humbled by the football club really wanting to keep me around. But I know that this decision's right for me, and I think that it's certainly going to be the right one for the football club going forward, as difficult as it is for me at this time. My career began what seems not too long ago, but was at the end of 2009. I was drafted to the Richmond Football Club, and I'm so proud that I've fulfilled my career and my dream at one club, this club. Externally, my career will be validated by 3 premierships and over 150 games, but not for me. I've hit far more hardship, milestones of far less acclaim that I'll reflect on and I'll be more proud of, which is enormous for me, and I look forward to sharing some of those. And it's been amazing to get to the ultimate glory with such a special group. But the times of adversity are the times that really shaped and defined me in a greater sense. I found myself out of favour at the bottom of the playing list. I've been on the trade table. I've had 14 surgeries. Actually, Reg booked me in for number 15 next week, so thanks for that, Reg. And the way that I carried myself, what I learned, and what I learned about others that were close to me during those times, they're what I hold really close to my heart. This week, the final siren's going to sound on my career. But I'll rest assured knowing that when my mates, my coaches, my club were being asked the most difficult of questions, when the stakes were high in big games, I really wanted to be in the fight with you, and I really wanted to fight for us, and I did it the way that David Astbury was supposed to. Some thank yous. I'll start with my extended family and the Tadian community. That's where it all began for me, and it's a place that I feel very welcomed and I feel I belong there. It's funny, I think of some of the people and they've always supported me unconditionally, and they're the sort of people that you surround yourself with in your life. Sort of pretty funny, some of the nicknames that come out, like Strad and Basil and Frawls and Scooter and these sort of people, and they're people I really look forward to catching up with going forward. The club administration, we speak of Chief and Peggy and people like that, but it extends far beyond that. This club gives us stability and gives us an opportunity to do our job, and it's an enormous part of the success that we've been able to achieve. The club staff and volunteers who are the heartbeat of this football club. You do the jobs that aren't glorious and that no one sees, but you do it with a smile, and you do it because you want to be a part of this, and that's something that we really treasure, and boys, it's really important to keep acknowledging that. The assistant coaches across my time, I've been enormously blessed. The amount of investment that you've put into me, and I feel really grateful for the relationships that I've been able to establish through that. Livo and Blair, we're in a club full of superstars both on and off the field, and your names probably aren't mentioned as much as they should be. Livo, you drove to Tadayun the day after I was drafted, and at that moment I had no idea the significance of a role that you'd play in my career, so thank you. To Dimmer, I've had one senior coach, and a lot of people would probably say that I don't know any different, but I don't care. You provided me an environment for me to be at my best, and you surrounded me with resources and people that I really treasure, so thank you, and thank you for giving us an environment where when we weren't at our best, or there were things that we couldn't understand or things that were hard, you helped us express them and become better rounded people, and that environment still thrives today. Shane McCurry, I'm not going to miss your pre-meeting routines, mate. Nank might. But you made this group more expansive, you're very progressive, and your work, I think, is something to be highly valued. To medical, particularly Shaki and Reg, countless hours of rehab in places that no one saw. And sometimes that might seem a little bit morbid or dark, but doing it with you guys, it made it okay. And I really enjoyed those times, and the relationship that I established with you guys is something that transcends football. I might have got another season out if we didn't recruit Artsy, and he took all the time on the slab. Often people talk about role models or icons or people that they really look up to in football, and predominantly they're men or people that played before them. But I've got so many women in my life that have played such a big and great role in my career. My mum, Kate, my three sisters, Claire, Hannah and Zoe. By your own admission, you took the piss a bit and turned football into a party for yourselves. But you're always there to support me, and I love you very much. Emma Murray. I first started working with Em in 2015 when my career was certainly at the crossroads. The impact that you've had on my life and my football has been extraordinary. I certainly wouldn't be up here retiring on my own terms if it weren't for you, and I really look forward to working with you in future. My personal psychologist, Sarah. He helped me understand parts of myself and forgive them and be okay with them. It's a relationship I really, really value, and I think it's really important acknowledging that it's a bit of a misconception. Some people look at me and they think that I've really got myself together, but I really needed help with that, and there were times where it wasn't okay, and that is okay. My girlfriend Zeph, you bring so much light to my life, and I'm really excited for what the next stage of my life really holds for us. Also, my dad, Craig, I'll miss seeing you at the members after a win. You've been as invested as anyone, and I really love that. This playing group, this is where it probably gets pretty hard. I walked through the door with Dylan and Dustin. Shared this journey, shared the lows. Not many lows for Dustin, but shared the lows and really ridden the highs with you guys. I've learned so much from you, and I'll treasure you guys forever. Thanks for making my draft a super draft too. To other senior members, Jack, Trent, Shane, Basher, Ivan, and Rancy, I've learnt so much from you guys, and the way that you hold this football club up is extraordinary. You're so invested, and you should be really proud of the continual work that you do. I wish Rancy could be here. I remember he stood up and retired and shocked the world, and the footy industry couldn't really understand that, and they speculated and made things up, and it cast an unjust shadow over a champion career, and what he did for this football club is so big, and I just want to acknowledge and thank him for everything that he did. To the core group, everyone, I really wish I could mention everyone. You talk about learning off senior guys, but I've learnt so much from you younger boys coming through, and I'm excited to watch ongoing. To the brothers and Shane, you brought a greater purpose to my career. Thanks for connecting with me and educating me and helping me to educate others. I'm going to finish with a story that I haven't shared with too many people, but it's really relevant to my journey, our journey. In 2016, in the off season, I was lucky enough to spend some time in the States. I drove across, and in October, we landed in Chicago, and the Chicago Cubs were entering Game 6 of the National League Championship against the Dodgers, and the city was abuzz. It was extraordinary, and it just had this atmosphere that was incredible, and I didn't understand why. I soon found out that the Cubs haven't won a National League Championship since 1945, and they went on to win that Game 6. And we were around Wrigley Field, and we watched it all happen, and the people that I saw in the streets, men, women, children, young and old, crying and rejoicing with absolute happiness. It was pandemonium. And I just remember just like thinking how much joy they brought to the people. Anyway, I went on to New York for a few weeks, and I watched the whole series, the whole World Series against the Indians. And And I remember in Game 7, Chris Bryant picking up a ground ball, throwing it to first base, and the Cubs had won the World Series. And I just remember thinking about those people in Chicago and what it did for them. And getting in the cab, driving to JFK the next day, I'd never been so keen to come back to work. I didn't understand it until then, what sport can do for people. And this group, I suppose the rest they say is history for us, and there's a lot of similarities between the Cubs of that time and us over the last period. And fundamentally, when people say to you, like, it's just a game, they've got a point. It's a game. But that's not the reason that you do it. This group's delivered hope, purpose, connection and joy to our people, the Richmond people. And it's something that you should continue. I implore you to continue the way that you go about it. It is really special. And be really proud of that, because I am. Thanks, boys.